India and China trade relations. So, before that, let's come from the beginning of the China era. So, China got its independence in the year 1949. In the early 2000s, China was allowed into the World Trade Organization. The GDP of China in 1980 was $90 billion, and in 2022 it has reached to $17.5 trillion, whereas India's GDP in 1980 was around $187 billion, which was more than China, and in 2022 India's GDP is only $3.5 trillion, which is almost 5 times less than China. So China's stringent economic policies has brought them to this stage, procuring waste electronic products, and again renewing it and reintroducing them by dumping plastic and electronic products at a cheaper price, assembling of mobile phones and other electronic devices, bulk exporting of iron, bronze and other materials at cheaper cost has made the world heavily dependent on China. Even the recent architectural marvels, the Statue of Unity and the Statue of Equality in India, are made out of the Chinese imported raw materials. It's not that we don't have those raw materials, but we don't produce those materials in bulk amount because we don't have any industries. Many industries we don't have. India realized its faults and started initiatives like Atmanirbhar Bharat, which encourages to manufacture products in India, and to increase the industrial sector and startups. Atmanirbhar Bharat also supports India. Indian government has launched production linked incentive scheme, that is PLI scheme, in 2020 to increase the manufacturing sector. India came up with Make in India in 2014. On the other side, to decrease the Chinese imports, India came up with anti dumping duty. So, here you can see India has come up with anti dumping duty and countervailing duty. Here, the China generally sells at a cheaper price than the price in our country. So, in order to encourage our products, extra tax was imposed on the cheaper Chinese products, and it is called anti dumping duty. And countervailing duty is also similar to this anti dumping duty. So, both of them are imposed on the Chinese products. As we and other countries are countering the cheaper Chinese products by imposing these anti dumping duty and countervailing duty, China started to export cheaper products through Indonesia and other countries. To tackle this problem and to counter these China's products, rule of origin law was also passed. That means for every product, the place where it is produced and manufactured should also be written. So, India and China trade relations was in news because on January, for the first time, China's imports have crossed $100 billion than India's exports. So, despite introducing those initiatives like anti dumping duty, countervailing duty, rule of origin, and many other extra taxes upon the Chinese products, the trade deficit has increased. So, by substituting China's products more and by becoming more self reliant and by making India's products cost efficient, can bring down the Chinese imports to some level. So, this is about India and China trade relations.